Hey there, welcome to an episode of Tales from the Podcast. I'm your host, JB, and happy to be back talking about some Tales from the Crypt. I know we took a little bit of a break there doing a bunch of movies, but it was something we felt needed to be done. But anyways, before I go ahead and jump into this, a couple of things I want to go ahead and say. Go check out House of Mysterious Secrets. Go to houseofmysterioussecrets.com. Use our code 4130. Save up to 10% on awesome horror merch. So you're into spooky shit, toys, clothing, face mat, whatever the fuck you want. Go check them out there. Save a little bit of money. You won't regret it. Also, if you are into any kind of wax scents, go and check out our friend Sydney's wax melts. And the links in all the show notes is basically everywhere. But you can use our code TFTPT or TFTP20, save 20%. And you're going to buy this stuff anyway. Most of us have wives that buy it. So why not save a little bit of money, support somebody, smaller somebody, not just your local Walmart or whatever store you go to. Also, check out Tales of Shock and Terror. You can find this over at talesfromthepodcast.com. We are running low on copies. Not very many left, but you can buy it, touch it, jerk off on it. I can give a fuck less what you do with it. But if you buy it, you help support me, my buddy Ron, as well as Chuck Nasty. So why not support this podcast and buy our comic book? And do whatever the fuck you want with it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Hey, Sean, how's it going, man? Happy you're here, bro. Like I said, we're talking about Tales from the Crypt today. And not only that, but I got a friend who hasn't been on in a little bit. Buddy from the From the Canopy Podcast Network. And I say that because, this guy does a shit ton of stuff. I know he has multiple shows, at least under his YouTube stuff. And dude does a lot of really cool work. So you definitely got to check this guy out. And I'll be posting his links here shortly as well. But let's go ahead and introduce my buddy Monk.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, dude, it's going well. How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing good. A little cold in Maryland, as we were talking about before. Not my favorite time of the year, but
Dude, I 100% understand you being in Northern Ohio. It's like, motherfucker, it's cold as shit out. It's really fucking bad, dude.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Right. And anyways, for all the listeners there, I sent out some links for everybody. So feel free to click any of those, check those out. You can check out Monk over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and his Twitter handle are all there for everyone to check out.
Yeah,
dude, I before we get too into everything, I just want to tell you how impressed I am with everything that you've been doing with your From the Canopy Network just on YouTube.
Oh, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to actually turn that into a second stream of income. I think I'm probably dialed into the creator side of how I want things to look and flow, but still got to do the work, man. And that's the hard part. The editing is you record the show and then you might see 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, however long the video is, but there might be another 2 hours behind the scenes involved in that video, man. So it's tough. Some days I feel better about it than others. Some days it's fun. Some days it feels like a chore. It's like, I got to get it done. But
just do what I do, man. I say, fuck it. I hit that live button. It goes straight everywhere. And you know how much editing I do? None, because fuck it. It's fun.
I hear you, man. I can actually do that on some of the shows, but lately I've been going hard with the unboxing stuff, so actually really greatly improved the video quality. And that gets a little tedious at times, especially when I'm dealing with something like this guy over here. I'll show it to you guys if
Yeah,
you haven't
yeah.
seen it.
I
And the box of this thing came in. I can't just boom. I gotta set up stuff, then record. Set this shot up, then record, and like I feel like I'm actually directing movies in a way.
yeah, yeah. I saw you do the unboxing for the Galactus, and I was surprised you got it. To be honest with you, like I don't know. There's so many times I see stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, that would be fucking sweet to have. And then I'm like, that is not practical. Like my wife talked me out of spending $300 on the Bowser Lego set because it's just not
I
fucking
will
practical.
say, I will admit that was probably a little bit of pandemic relief funds. I was a little bit more flush with cash, so I was doing my part to help stimulate the economy during that time. And to be honest, I ordered 14 months ago, man. That's when the campaign started. I ordered it and I forgot about it until maybe 3 months ago when I started getting emails from them. Like, it's like, oh,
Right? Don't you love those things?
oh no, great man. I love those kind of purchases when you just forget, and they come and it's a good day.
Unfortunately, I don't really get too many of those. Most of the time I'm purchasing stuff, it's like 90% of the time it's eBay related, so they send it pretty quick. So but still, I mean, every once in a while I'll be like, oh fuck. I
I
forgot
mean,
I
I will
backed that
point out this.
Kickstarter a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so some people will look at this it's rather indulgent, but at the same time, I look at it like, the big kid in me is getting my thrills, but also I know when push comes to shove or I'm getting a tight spot, I could sell it. you know, what
Right?
and I could sell it for more than what I paid for it. So, look at it that way.
Well, first you gotta the thing is though, is you have to have a buyer. So like
Mhm,
I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you. I go to a lot of collectible stores. I go to a lot of comic book conventions. I do a lot of that shit.
mhm.
Never once have I heard one person been like, "Man, it'd be really sweet to have like a 3 foot Galactus." So I mean,
Yeah.
finding a buyer might be a little different, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Once you post it, it might be a whole different story.
Yeah. Well, my secret is I look for the average price and I just cut them. And yeah, I'm not getting the maximum amount, but more than likely mine is going to sell if it's $50 less than yours. So there's ways, man. That is the only problem. You can't usually get it right away. So even if you need this thing to bail you out of a tight jam, it's not going to be
Right.
instant a lot of times. So
No,
you
not when
just
it's
gotta
a
be
tight jam. No, that's for sure. But I mean, it's still a fucking sweet piece. Don't get me
hmm
wrong. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely love seeing those things. I was just sitting there thinking, like, while you were talking about it, like, I just got recently about 2 weeks ago a Kickstarter thing that I bought like almost 2 years ago.
hmm
Only issue is that I got fatter and it was a T-shirt.
Yeah. Ah man, that is a dilemma. I'm getting bigger in my older age, man. Like, and I've got a closet full of t-shirts and clothes, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lose this weight one day. No, I'm just getting bigger. It's not really happening. It's not happening.
I feel the same way.
Oh
It's like,
man.
all right, well, got this gym membership. I'm gonna start working out, and then it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna eat this ice cream and sit on the couch.
Yeah.
you know,
Here for a good time, not a long time, man.
yeah, I definitely feel you, man. I definitely feel you there for sure. So, anyways, what's been going on with everything? Like, I know you got your sounds from the canopy, your unboxing, which obviously we chat about that a little
Mhm.
bit. You got your
Yeah.
from the canopy film show as well as your classics of cinema, which I will say your classics of cinema is one of those that's probably a little bit more up my alley and
Mhm.
probably most of the the audience here. But I mean, you
Yeah.
guys literally get into damn near fucking everything on the from the canopy film show. The only problem I have with that show is like you guys have hit movies like 2 weeks before I even got a chance to even go see it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
So
every once
the
in a while you guys have mentioned what you're going to talk about, and I just hit pause, like, fuck, I gotta wait.
Yeah, so I mean, the From the Canopy Film Show, that's the more current movies and stuff. And I go to the
Right.
movies on a regular. I got the Regal pass, so I pay it was like 20 some bucks a month, and I can go unlimited times and I take advantage of that. I mean, I don't work a regular scheduled job, so with this tattooing, it's happening all the time, all times throughout the day, or maybe I'll do one in the morning and the rest of my day is free, so I'll hit the theater. So we're probably pretty much up to date with movie reviews, and I will brag a little bit. I think we do the most current film reviews than any show out there. So
Dude,
we got the numbers to
you
prove it,
guys
man.
are like hitting movies like the day they fucking come out, if not the next day.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know,
So
yeah.
I think the classics is great too because we're doing all films made before the year 2000. So these are really a lot of classics. And to be
Mhm.
honest, man, last month I think we bit off, or at least I did, more than I could chew. And we were doing Stephen King films. And what me and Bob were doing was recording 2 episodes every Sunday. So we record 2 episodes about 2 films, and I think I got all of them out, and I looked at the number. We did probably almost maybe around 15 Stephen King films. So somewhere like
Um,
that.
well, you
It's
got
crazy.
like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think you got 12,
There's
13.
two more that haven't come out yet.
Uh,
That's
well,
where
all
I'm
right,
talking
all right,
about bit off
all
more
right.
than I could chew. Because
All right, can I ask this one? Because this is a very unpopular opinion, but one of my favorite Stephen King films. I'm just curious if he did it. Rose Red?
no, we didn't do Rose Red. I've
No,
never
no,
seen that one.
nobody ever watches that one.
How do
I'm
you know
starting
that
to
was a
think it
movie?
might not be a good movie, and maybe I just have really shitty taste because
What year
nobody
was
ever
that?
watches that one. Nobody really talks highly of it either.
So was that the TV show or?
Yeah, it's a
All right, yeah. So that's definitely not coming under our. We only do the movies, and it
well,
was made in 2002, I think. As I'm
all
looking
right,
at
all
the
right.
thing.
Well, first off, you did it 1990. That's a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
the same
different, but
thing.
it's still kind of in the film realm.
It's the
It's
same
just like
thing. It's a multi-part TV special.
okay. So hold up, how many parts was Rose Red? That was actually because I know he was
Uh,
doing a bunch of those, like the Langoliers and Tommy Knockers. They
I
were
think
like
it's two
long
parts.
films. Oh, okay.
Yeah, came out in
Yeah, it wouldn't have.
2002.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I think
it
the
was a
2002 probably kept it off our radar because we try to keep them, past like at
yeah.
2000. That's the cutoff. So if it's we don't even cover 2000. It's got to be like up to 99 and back. So
All right. Well,
yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it's just I didn't even realize what year that one came out. To be honest with you, I just
Mhm.
always really liked watching it. I always had a lot of fun with it personally. But I mean,
Personally,
you
I'll
guys
check
have
it
done
out
a
though.
lot of really good ones, though. I mean, the
Mhm.
fucking Silver Bullet's a fucking great one. I think. I
Yeah.
mean, we were talking about Creep Show earlier. I know you guys noticed that you guys did Creep Show too.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys have done so much shit on there, dude.
Yeah, man.
Big Trouble
Definitely.
in Little China. I mean, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Mhm.
Um, I even noticed that you guys did some Demon Night on there too. Which
Oh, I love Demon Knight.
oh, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. I bet right now that I have Demon Night on a way that you've never seen it.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think I bought a digital copy when we were making that episode. Like it's one that I had, but I think I had it in
letterboxed
CD.
edition
What?
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc. I got a question though. Since you have that out right now, what is the resolution on Laserdisc? I'm curious, man. I know they were slightly better than what our TVs could do back then
um,
when those players came out, but
I mean,
I'm curious.
it's slightly better than VHS. So what
So
was
about
that?
like a
VHS was
Betamax.
like, huh?
So like a Betamax in a way.
It's a little bit better than that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But I mean, it's a different format. And it took up, I don't know, it really didn't take up less space because it's so fucking big. But
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
those were big.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
I've only seen one time. I think science class, and it was one of those days where they wheeled the TV in. And for some reason, whatever we were watching was on Laserdisc, and I just thought it was cool, but I really didn't notice much difference than everything else we were watching. So I don't know. Yeah, it's
It
wild.
looks like Laserdisc is technically at 480.
What? Wow.
Yes. Which, considering that Laserdisc came out in the 70s, isn't that bad,
No, not too bad.
you know?
I think
But
the advantage to that format was probably just longevity of it, and more
well,
so
I
than
mean,
the resolution. Because I mean, those VHS tapes, man, they break down without you even touching them. If you just let them sit.
I think in comparison of the two, at least for the problems that I had growing up,
Mhm.
was probably more about the tape coming out
Yeah.
and tangling up. Which, I mean, if you had a favorite movie on VHS, I mean, this is gonna sound so stupid, man, but you know how many times I had to sit there and go really slow and rewind by hand, fucking Good Burger, you
Wow. You love Good Burger. I don't think I've ever watched anything that much like individually on VHS, but I do remember just over time they just start, you're getting lines and the
right,
warpness and certain scenes. If you did rewind a lot, they would just just start warping. You're like, oh damn, they must
right,
rewind this
yeah. That explains why my Fifth Element movie didn't work that great in certain spots.
a lot. I heard there was a big problem with that pool scene on the rental circuit with the Fast Times at Ridgemont High. With a few takes out of the pool. They said I was just notorious for just being really badly warped and almost unwatchable if you rented that.
Right.
But if you had it on Laserdisc,
Yeah, wouldn't have that problem.
yeah.
David says Good Burger is such a funny movie. I mean, it's Keenan and Kel back when they were great. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. Keenan to me is kind of, maybe it's just because SNL in general's kind of took a downhill plunge.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
But I mean, I fucking love that movie so fucking much. It was just such a fun one, especially like I'm in my mid 30s, so I mean that movie came out when I was about the fucking prime age to be watching that shit.
Mhm.
But anyways, so I asked you to check out this episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and jump into this real quick. you know, 20 minutes in, and we haven't even talked about it. So,
Sometimes it goes like that.
oh yeah. So this is I'm actually excited to talk about some of the stuff with this one. I'll be honest. So this is what is it? Episode 9 from season 6. I mean, we're getting close to the end here now. Which man, we got some plans coming up, guys. So I mean, keep an eye on the group page and everything like that because we're going to be asking some questions for everybody. But this one originally came out December 14th of 1994. I was 6 to give everybody an idea. And was based off of the comic book issue Vault of Horror issue number 23, which fucking great book. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting though. Now, I don't know if you got a chance to check out like the IMBD on this one.
Yeah, I did. I checked out the cast on this.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
See, the cast isn't really a huge cast, which is fine.
Nah.
What got me was who wrote the screenplay.
Hold up. Let me see if I got that here.
Yeah. Teller from Penn and Teller.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was one of his jobs. Like, wow.
Me neither. I was like, what? But then when I was going and looking through it, he did Dracula's Daughters versus Space Brains. He did this Tales from the Crypt episode. He did Monster Vision in '93. Like it's like he's only done cheesy horror and
Mhm,
magic. But it's actually like, considering who it's written by, I don't think he did a bad job. No, I will say I wish he adapted the source material better, but we'll get into that
mhm,
shortly. Um, but I mean, other than that, I mean, everybody knows who this guy is anyway. So the person who directed this episode, though, was Stephen Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I mean, another pretty fucking big time guy there too. I mean, you know, God damn, what did he do? The Dark Tower. He was like one of the producers for that. Um, I know. God damn, this guy's done so much fucking shit. It's actually
Did
insane.
Predator 2 according to this thing.
Yeah, he did a lot of the Shameless series. He did the Unusuals, the Reaping, Traffic, Lost in Space, the '98 one, Ghost in
Mm.
Darkness. He's actually done 3 episodes of Tales from the Crypt. He
Mm.
did probably one of my least favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets, though. Uh,
Dream Child.
yeah, yeah. Just, I mean, minus the remake, you
Mhm.
know, it just wasn't that great. I'm sorry.
I like that
Nothing.
one at least just for the lore building, but as far as the regular scene to scene Freddy stuff, it kind of was disappointing. You
I
know,
always thought 3 was better.
oh, three's my
Three's always
favorite.
been like one of my favorite. Yeah, yeah.
Three is my favorite, hands down, dude. There's no debate, dude.
5 is just like,
And maybe part two as well, man, because I
well,
think with
part 2 is
those
good.
two, they escalated his dream sequences. Like if you notice, bringing in the miniatures and those set
Oh
design
yeah.
was crazy. Like that bus scene on part two in the
Uh,
beginning. Oh man, that is
I
amazing. Yeah.
I will even admit that I'm one of those people that like the new Nightmare.
Mm. Which
But I
that
mean,
was the one Craven put out like at the end, like when he kind of rebooted a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
I liked it. But
Mhm.
anyways, to continue this, I mean, probably one of the shortest cast lists that we actually get in a Tales from the Crypt episode. Obviously, we get John Kassir as the Crypt Keeper, who's, let's just be honest, always fantastic.
He's in rare form in the intro to this, man. He's kind of playing some weird character where he's doing poetry, and I'm like, this is
Well,
amazing.
this is not
Voice
the first
acting
time he
and
did that
commentary.
either.
Yeah, but it's just stood out to me. It
Right.
definitely.
Well, like, believe it or not, like, if I mean, God damn, you got to go like 4 years back in my podcast
Mhm.
shit. But when I had John Kassir on and we chatted about a lot of stuff, he actually has his own theater where he lives. And
Mm,
he's, it's actually pretty cool. But he's, that intro kind of like, to me, was like John taking it to his roots. Because like you could
mm,
just see the theater in that guy. I mean, that's just who he is. He does a lot of
mm,
theater work. I know his wife does too. So it's, like that whole throwback there kind of, I don't know. I guess it didn't surprise me, but I guess it's probably because I've personally talked to him
mhm.
about that
Yeah.
specifically. you know?
Yeah, it also stood out to me. Like, I'm not a regular viewer of this. Like, my Tales from the Crypt experience comes from at the most maybe when this stuff was actually still showing on HBO. So that was probably
Right.
just me haven't seen it in a while.
It's not even on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's nowhere unless you have
No,
physical copies of it.
I do.
Yeah,
It's on YouTube too. It's on YouTube too.
yeah,
I
YouTube. Yeah,
mean, realistically, you'll find better copies of it on YouTube than you will physically. Because all my
right.
physical copies, yeah, they're DVDs, which are also at like what, like a 480.
Yeah.
So I got DVDs, and then I also have VHSs.
hmm
So-
Yeah, choose your poison.
you know what I mean? Like, so some of the
Yeah.
upscalings. Even the 720s, upscales are better than every physical copy released.
Yeah, you know what's promising though? I've seen some pretty crazy stuff being happening with the AI where they are somehow, I don't know how it's doing it, but they're upresing some of these older videos and increasing the resolution and the frame rate. I'm like, yo, if you could
Well,
apply that across the board to a lot of this older material, there's probably a really good market for that, man.
oh, dude, there is. The only thing is like technically a lot of the people who are behind the scenes. Um, and for those interested, CryptTube Incorporated.
hmm
My good buddy John, if you go and follow him on YouTube, he's not done yet because it takes a long time to do this. He's
hmm
actually one of the people doing the 4K restorations of
What?
Tales from the Crypt, and they look fucking fantastic. The problem is that I'm very far ahead of him.
Mm.
So, and it takes a
Yeah.
long time to upscale, a file like that. But he's been doing it for a while now, and I mean, he has, I think, like 4 or 5 seasons done now. The dude's done an incredible job. So if you ever want to go back and watch some of the older episodes, I strongly suggest checking out what he's done. The stuff is just, I mean, it's actually fucking incredible. I'm very proud of the guy. He's done great work. But like I said, you can't make no money on it.
Yeah, that's the only part about
it. There's lots of issues like that.
Technically,
well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
No,
a guy showed up one day at a convention and he had some 4K Tales from the Crypt tapes playing on a little TV and some discs beside it for sale.
7. All right. First off, all right, let's just have a little, a thinking thing here, because both of us know our media very well. So, all right, let's go ahead and say, okay, 4K upscaling, and this is full 4K, not your bullshit like little chintzy ass shit. This is full blown 4K, high frame rates. So that now we're obviously talking about putting this on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Now let's just say 7 seasons of it. I mean, we are looking a little under 2 terabytes of files for the entire 7 seasons.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
And with, I mean, you're gonna end up buying like this 45 disc set, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of just that's the technology limits. Just the more data, it just takes more to produce, those higher quality images.
Right.
So you got limitations.
That's why I'm going to put them all on a hard drive, because I can just hook that up to my TV.
And then honestly, have a player, because that's getting a little weird these days. I mean, if you've got lucky enough to get you an Xbox X or PS5, then you've got a built-in, high-res Blu-ray player. But I feel like that market is shrinking now, man, especially with the invention of the way streaming is going now. Like I don't think they're selling Blu-ray players, DVD players, any of that stuff like they used to, man. It's interesting times, man. It's crazy.
No, see, I mean, like I'm even weird about that, because even when I do buy stuff, which I mean, I got physical fucking media laying all over the fucking place at my house. But I mean, one of the things I like to do is I purchased a piece of software, to say the least, and I digitally catalog every film I have. So I have, I don't know, 4 18 terabyte hard drives.
Wow.
And I spent a decent amount on my my TV, which has NVIDIA built right into my TV. So I mean, decent graphics, really nice display, and I can just hook it up to that and just watch whatever I want to when I want to, but not fuck up any of my media.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the big thing with me, especially having children. And, I have things for converting over VHSs too. So, But, I mean, that's just me, though. I mean, I don't like to even use anything. And I have a PlayStation and everything. It has the Blu-ray player, but I mean, it's just.
Yeah, still like I've got discs laying around. There's a shelf behind me, a wall back here full of stuff, but it's like, if I have it on that same movie is on Netflix or Hulu or something like that, I'm probably going to watch it there first before pulling that disc is going to be the last resort. That's the last thing I'll do is pull that disc off the wall,
No, I feel you, man. The only time I pull my discs is when I'm ripping it to the drive. And that's simple. I mean, I'm just got too much of it. Not to mention, I mean, 90% of it's fucking signed. So I mean, there's
that too, man. There's signed copies and it's a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just how it is. But anyways, to jump back into this, we have probably one of your favorite characters of this episode, DB Sweeney playing Clyde.
Yeah. Sweeney is in rare form here. Like, I was trying to figure this out. Let me see if I can see if this says it in here, but are they in New Orleans?
I'm not even sure where they are. I
That's
mean,
the first thing
I
I
I,
thought of.
I get the feeling like they are, but I mean, I don't think they even stay where they are.
Based on DB Sweeney's excellent choice of accent, I thought it was New Orleans. The way he's talking in this thing is so ridiculous. It's so funny to me, man. He definitely sounds like a guy that's on a run, a guy that's kind of probably living on that darker side of life. Maybe did a couple bids in prison, but
Oh yeah,
oh my god, he's amazing in this. He doesn't have a lot of lines. It's funny because in this movie, I feel like he says like a sentence or two, and then the other character kind of monologues a bit before he jumps back in and says something else that's crazy.
yeah. It doesn't seem like he has like It doesn't seem like anybody really has a really big role in this, to be fair. But
Hmm.
like what he's known for? I know he was in Taken 2. He was in he was in Crash. Um, I'm trying to think of like what else was he in. I mean, he's personally not in like a lot of stuff that I personally watch.
Yeah, he was in
Um,
Spawn.
yeah.
According to this, he was in Spawn.
Oh,
He's got a
I
Spawn
forget.
credit.
He was he did one of the voices in the it's a video game.
Mm.
Warriors of Might and Magic. There we go.
Hmm.
And oh yeah, I forget he was in Spawn. Yeah. So that's a movie that I think has always been super underrated. Even though they've been wanting to do a reboot of it, I think the original is actually really fucking good. But
I enjoyed it. I think I made a trip to the theater to see that back in the day. It was
yeah,
entertaining. Maybe there were some, if anything, maybe just dialogue choices, man. But moment to moment, it captured the spirit of the series. So and
I think anything that has John Leguizamo in it is
oh
fucking
man,
amazing.
that
That's
was one of
simple.
his best roles ever, man. He
Well, no,
was the
Mario was
violator.
really good too.
Yeah, he was the violator, though. I couldn't
Oh yeah.
picture no one else doing that like now. Like that's oh man, he owned that.
Oh
Even
fuck
though
yeah.
I forgot who played I like the guy that played Coleostro. Yeah, there was some cool stuff in there, man. It's definitely, a lot like a lot more good about it than I think that was bad.
Right. Yeah, I love that one. Unfortunately, I'm not going to say the same things you did with, like, oh, I went and saw it in the theater because I did. But I mean, around the same time, I also went to the theater and watched Kazam. So I mean, take it for what it is. It doesn't really
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
anything when I watched both
Mhm,
of those.
mhm.
So I mean, it's like, yeah, I watched this really good one, but I also watched Shaq as a genie in a boombox, and that was a piece of shit
Oh
movie.
man, Shaq was crazy, man. Shaq was getting money though. Remember, Steel? Was that a DC based film? Did he start the DC the DCU,
Well, I mean,
the modern version?
if we want to be technical, I mean, he
Oh
was
shit!
definitely one of the first African American superheroes. I mean, I'm pretty sure Meteor Man was before him, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, fucking, he's definitely, yeah. I mean, that's a DC character. I think it was like, but
Well,
Steel's like a Superman type guy, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember it was like a weekend. Me and some of my college buddies went to our one buddy's stayed at his house for the weekend just to, get away from school or whatever. And this was playing on TV, and we watched this thing and laughed our asses off, man. Like there was a scene, he's fighting these gangsters that are just nondescript gangsters, and one of the gangsters tells Shaq, "It's like I'm gonna smoke you like a blunt." Oh my god, yo, we were rolling like we were.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, Shaq's acting career was about as good as his
Yeah,
rapping career.
yeah. Shaq got I think he does have a platinum plaque or two. So
Did he make
I
him
mean,
himself?
yeah, I mean, this is a crazy thing, man. Shaq is really in real life one of those really cool dudes. Like no one really has anything bad to say about him, except maybe his wife that he cheated on. But like he's got a lot of friends, man. A lot of musicians, a lot
Oh,
of
I
like
know.
it's crazy. He's one of the most beloved sports guys that ever played the game
Oh,
away from the court.
I
And it's
cannot
crazy to
argue that.
see how these things manifested. Because at one point he was just hanging around a bunch of rappers, and all of course hey, let's do some music. And Shaq's got him writing blank checks so he can get
Right?
anyone to
No,
come through.
I get it. You know, I'm just like he just had a lot of failed ventures. I mean, the movie
Mhm.
career,
Yeah, the movie, he
the
didn't work
rapping
out so well for
career.
him.
Like,
Well,
do you
see,
remember
I
Shaq
don't
Fu?
know. You got to kind of. It might not be the type of raps that I like personally, but the guy, he's got a platinum plaque on it. Someone was buying this. Someone was listening. Like that's not really a failure. But
Well, does it count when you buy 1,000,000 copies of your own record?
see, this is how crazy big Shaq was at that time. I think there were just some nuts that were buying this stuff. He probably sold a lot of copies in China. Like NBA is huge overseas, man. Like who knows how this worked out? And he was signed to Jive Records, the same label with Britney Spears and the Tribe Called
do,
Quest. Like,
do you remember his big single?
he had a couple. He
Yeah, do
had
you remember the big one? What's up, Doc?
yeah. Oh, see, What's Up Doc was actually a song by the Foo Schnickens, and this song showed the world that Shaq could rap. He did a guest verse on that song. And then he comes out with Pass, Shoot, Slam, which is like basically him saying, "Do you want me to shoot it? No. Do you want me to pass it? No. Do you want me to slam? Yeah." And like, that's the chorus. It's so stupid. And the video is just him dunking in the whole video, and he's rapping. And oh man, but it's ridiculous, man. I think that could be a whole nother show on someone's podcast, just the Shaq rapping career. It's that crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah.
Hold up,
I
Rick
mean,
Patel, man. Why are we talking about Shaq? I'm
I
blaming
don't
you,
know.
man. That's your fault.
You know he has 4 studio albums.
Yes, yes. You know
You
what?
know,
I will implore the listeners, check this out though. There's a video he did called Can't Stop the Rain. And if you want to see CG out of control, it's hilariously funny, man. In this video, he has some weird company that he started called Twism that he's calling himself. I guess every rapper has to have a crew. So his thing was Twism. The world is I think the world is mine or some shit like that. But in this video, there's Shaq and there's just awful like they should have never gave rappers CGI. So you're seeing the early stages of CGI in music videos, and Shaq is out of control. He's hanging out of helicopters. He dives in the ocean at one point. At one point, he grows Wolverine claws and punches through a fence. Like
you sure he really didn't do those things?
it's so bad that it's good. Like it's one of the things. Like if I'm in a bad mood, I throw it on and I'm instantly laughing, and it boosts me up for a minute, for like 3 or 4 minutes. I can forget about my problems and watch Shaq be an idiot.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say anything about that. That's for sure. Can't stop the rain.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm one of these guys that studies life a little bit, and I love when the pop culture moments just go wrong. And Shaq is so full of them.
Oh,
his
yeah.
life is so full of them. It gets wild out there, folks.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I will say, like, I agree with you on everything. I mean, the dude seems like he's legit a really good dude. Um, I can make fun of a few things that he did, but I mean, come on, we've all done some stupid things that were just kind of funny back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, fuck, dude, I saved my pogs for like 7 fucking years, thinking, man, these might be worth something. I mean, we all have that one thing that we fucked up with, but I mean,
yeah.
the only thing I really can say about Shaq is we don't have the same taste in pizza. I'm not a fan of Papa John's.
Oh yeah, he's a new Papa John's guy. But is it damn? That was a wild story too, man.
Yeah.
Papa Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyways, let me bring it back around here. Now, in this episode, we also have Rachel Ticotin as Charbonnet, and I mean,
she's amazing.
She's like Total Recall. I mean, that's probably my favorite role with her in it. I will say, like, and I know it's not a popular opinion. I just don't care because I really fucking hate Nicolas Cage. But she was also in Con Air.
She was. See, I haven't seen Con Air. She probably was, but the only thing I remember her in is Total Recall. I think she has some more films I have seen, but I don't remember her in those films.
She was in The Eye. I mean, yeah, she's actually been in a ton of shit. God, Stingray. There's obviously the Total Recall. One Good Cop. Um, Natural Born Killers. She's in that.
Is she like a reporter or something in that? I can't remember.
No, she's actually in the you have to have the DVD. She's on the deleted scenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here's what you know her from. She was the police dispatcher on the Gargoyles TV show. Yeah,
Yeah. She did get
that's
the credit. Yeah, the voice credit. Yep.
let's see, the Outer Limits. She did some of that. She was on Lost for a couple episodes. Said the Eye. I mean, she's done more TV than anything. I'd say Con Air, Total Recall were probably like two of the biggest ones. I mean, the
Yeah, I
Eye
think the
did pretty
Total
well
Recall
too.
is. Yeah, I think her Total Recall is probably her most known because she had a lot of scenes in that. Toward the end. Because Sharon Stone gets taken out early, and then it's just her and Arnold pretty much the rest of the movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's such a good movie too. I mean,
Mhm.
want to talk about shitty remakes? I mean, though, but
Oh, man, I don't think I finished that one, dude. To be
I,
honest, it had no fun in it. Like there was
no,
no thrills. I was like, what are we doing? I mean, we're covering the beats from the original, but where's the fun?
they
I
didn't even
mean,
try, man. They didn't even
yeah.
fucking try.
You know what? I think they were going for something that was probably just more different tone, closer to the source. Whereas Verhoeven is just nutty anyway, so he put his hands on it. It's going to go to another level. I don't think they could have duplicated that. Like I feel like if this version came out first, it probably might have been okay received. But that Verhoeven was just looming over you. Like it's like trying to redo RoboCop. You can't capture
No,
that magic. It's
no. I still think one of the greatest scenes in all cinematography is I believe it's RoboCop 3, the jetpack.
I know he had a jetpack, but I didn't see that.
You want to talk about bad CGI, man? Holy fuck,
Man,
that
that
is
209 was
great.
bad in the first one. That wasn't even CGI. That was mocap, but
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
he was
Considering
trying. They
like
were
I
trying.
lived in Missouri for a good chunk of my life, and then I moved to then I moved actually probably about 30 minutes south of Detroit. I spent a good chunk of my life waiting for 2006 to roll around. Like, all right, guys, it's gonna be the year.
No.
Let's wait. Officer
Oh,
Murphy's gonna die. We're gonna see what the fuck happens. They're gonna have RoboCop here.
yeah, man.
Shit was getting really out of hand out there. I mean, it would have been the perfect time.
Mhm.
I've seen that movie way too many times. I'll be honest.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely, man. This one I throw on in the background all the time, man.
oh,
It's there.
I mean, I put that one on the background probably as much as Ernest Scared Stupid. So
A lot
if you
of
know me, I
quotables.
mean, it's up there.
Yeah, it's a lot of great scenes in that.
Oh yeah. Now we also have R. Lee Ermey.
Hmm
Yeah, and I mean, you want to talk about somebody else who's just fucking fantastic. Um, I don't know where you know this guy from, but I will just flat out say it.
Everywhere.
He's well, yeah, but I mean, he is. I mean, he has to be in one of my all-time favorite Peter Jackson films. Frighteners.
Oh yeah, that was Peter
Oh,
Jackson. The Frighteners.
yeah, that's a Peter Jackson movie. Oh, look at this. Chuck Nasty's here. Decided to join in tonight.
Figured I'd say, hey, what's going on, guys?
What's
My
going on,
hat
man?
looks fucking weird. Whatever.
It's just you. You look fucking weird.
I do. I didn't shave my head today, so I look all fucking crazy.
What's
Anyways,
going on?
I just realized. Sorry, I didn't mean to fucking interrupt, but I just realized what episode exactly what you're doing, and this is the only episode that around this time that I actually liked.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is a good one. We're actually talking about Arlie Emery in this one right now, and some of the stuff he was in. I mean, including like I said, The Frighteners, which is an amazing Peter Jackson movie. But I mean, he was in
How long
Body
do you think?
Snatchers. He always plays the same guy, though.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I was thinking, like, it seems like he walked right off the base and onto the set of this, like, just he's the same guy. But also, how long do you think it took to film this episode or these episodes? Like this feels like maybe a day or two at the most, man. Like maybe 2 days because you got the makeup, but this like the way it's framed and all that, and the way it's moving along, it's like not a lot of time at all to turn this one around.
No, well, I would say it probably took 2 to 3 days, but that's only because they actually filmed every episode twice.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Episode was so good they filmed it twice. Wait.
No, like all right, so there. If you ever pay attention to this, this show is very quickly being reran on multiple networks while it was still on the air. So they ended up doing multiple versions of this, yes, basically, and so they were able to air it. And then the filming. I mean, you got to remember, I'm not sure if they did them like in order accordingly, but I mean, these were all filmed in weird segments. All the Crypt Keeper segments were all filmed differently than the actual episodes, which I mean, that's pretty obvious. This one, though, I would say is probably, I mean, it's a clean episode to begin with, so they probably didn't have to do very little editing whatsoever. And then, I mean, it's just a very quick running one. I mean, the hardest thing for them was probably finding a baby. But I mean,
oh shit!
In Hollywood, I can make a joke, but I won't
make that joke.
No, we any joke that I can make's already been made.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, either way. Now to jump into this episode, I mean, to give just a rough idea about this episode, you get this. Obviously, he's not necessarily a convict, but he's outrunning the law at the moment, and he ends up coming to this mansion. And like you said,
DB Sweeney, right?
Yeah. I'm actually with you on this one, man. I'm pretty sure they have to be in like Louisiana. I get those vibes.
I think it is. I think it is in Louisiana.
They don't state it, but I mean,
there's some certain things that are said though that where it makes it sound like it is.
Yeah, but I mean, he's throwing like a southern accent, but it's got an extra twang to it. It's not just like it feels like New Orleans. That's the first thing I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyways, he ends up going to this house. There's this old lady there. He ends up being able to talk himself into going inside. Once inside, she's ends up trying to help him. She was a little reluctant at first, but I mean, ends up giving in. Goes up the stairs, and keep in mind the police are still looking for him. They can't find him. She kind of sends them off on their way, and she ends up going upstairs, going to bed or whatever. And then shortly after, we see a younger woman appear, and he's kind of getting a little excited, talking to her, trying to get her to come down, and he has a drink ready, and as she's we don't really,
as a man is to do when he sees a beautiful woman.
Well, I mean, in the 90s, I mean, you do whatever, especially back then. But he doesn't end up watching her actually come down the stairs, so she's actually behind him. He ends up getting startled because as he turns around, it's the old woman again now. And, I guess in a weird way, I mean, she's pretty quick to really go on and say what the fuck is going on. And I agree with it. It's like a reverse Fountain of Youth myth. But, it ends up just flat out telling him about the stairs and what happened. And, basically what ends up happening in this is that her husband ended up catching her with another man and ended up, as he was dying, put a curse on her where if she went down the stairs, no man would love her. And if they went up the stairs, there would be an issue there too. So, basically, if she goes upstairs, she gets young and beautiful. She goes down the stairs, she gets old. And the opposite happens for men. So, obviously, the curse isn't even on her. The curse is on the house. Which, I mean...
it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it didn't affect the suitor. Because, I mean, think about how good of a relationship that would be, Like, oh, you can't get on the stairs.
Well, not all of us are trying to keep our women locked upstairs, Chuck.
Well, I'm not either. I'm just saying, Yeah, I mean, if she's being shitty, and you're like, she's chasing you with, I don't know, a butcher knife.
I mean, I guess this person ultimately was like, you're not going to have no more joy for the rest of your life. Like, it's over. If anyone, you like, I'm dead, but you might as well have died with me because you're not going to get nothing else out of life at this point.
I mean, there's ways around it. I mean, it wouldn't be that great, but I mean, like, if you're a voyeur, it might be a great thing for you. Pulls a little show off, or at the top there, you're like, lean back in a fucking chair. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if that could be a thing,
I guess.
But hold on, I'm trying to understand this curse. So I feel like there's like a yo-yo going on with her too, because somehow it's keeping her alive, and I guess going down makes her older, but she can reverse it if she goes back up. Something like But wouldn't that mean she couldn't spend too much time in either area? Like that would kind of suck. Like, what if you just take a long nap downstairs and you die? Like,
I don't know. Like, this is one of the things that gets us. Like, first off, you could tell by the police officer's uniform that is actually set in the 90s.
Yeah, it looks like a more like today.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks like when she's upstairs, she actually stays the same age as when the curse occurred. So it doesn't seem like there's actually any aging going on whatsoever, which is just an odd type thing that I noticed. Because, I mean, when you see the picture of her husband, he clearly looks like World War I, World War II kind of military guy. Almost like Civil
War even.
Yeah, I mean, it looks old as shit. So, I mean, like there's a huge difference there. I will say she is probably extremely lucky that she's never had to go into her own basement. But
right,
I mean, I expected to see the end of this one, but
she had that it was that '90s thing, the life alert or whatever. I have fallen, I can't get up. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying.
Still a thing.
Is it still a thing?
Yeah,
I never know.
I might have seen a commercial for that lately. Maybe it uses Bluetooth now.
It was always. I remember being up real late on the weekends and shit. It was always a commercial in between like the phone sex ads, like like a USA and shit like that. It was like life alert and like 1-800 call me.
That shit was like slapstick to me, man. I must have laughed a ton of times when that old lady fell. Every time.
Oh,
it was the way she did it, because we get it. Shit happens. Okay, it's bad. It's horrible. But that woman was not a trained actress.
No.
That was really it's like any kind of.
I feel like the trained actress probably wanted too much money, or I don't minutes, and somebody called up their grandma.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think if an old woman like that fell on the ground and it hurt her hip, she would just be like, "Help! I can't get up." No, she'd be screaming every curse word in the book and throwing shit till somebody came in and like found out why her window was out. Like, come on now. We've all had family.
You're not wrong.
She fell again. Whose turn? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but you're right though. She doesn't seem to be aging like him when she lures him up to see what the effect is, and
They never got her up. That's why you never see her. She's dead. Well, there you guys have it.
The answer is made.
Anyways, going back to this episode. So,
wait a second. Wait. So I got on here at like 47 minutes. Have you all really not talked about this episode at all this whole time?
Getting derailed.
That's great. Okay, this is awesome.
Well, to be fair, we're over halfway done talking about the episode.
True.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're getting there. Okay, don't stop rushing each other.
Beginning of this, if you want to know about Shaq's rap career.
Yeah, we probably spent a good 15-20 minutes talking about Shaq, who has nothing to do with anything that we've done today.
I used to have one of his cassettes as a kid. I thought it was such a gangster because I had it. I had that shit, man, just like I had the fucking Macho Man and Hulk Hogan shit. Like, oh God. I would, Shaq needs to make a comeback.
Shaq has.
Remember, Hulk Hogan? Or was it?
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan on the rap song.
Both of them. I can't remember who did it first. They had a beef. like, oh yeah, like like oh god. So look here, brother. Like I don't know. It's just it was the weirdest fucking. Macho Man's no longer alive, but if Hulk Hogan and Shaquille O'Neal could get together and just get their rap career going, they might have a chance in this world. I'm just saying.
Okay.
How's it going? I'm Shaq.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back around. So,
anyways,
in
my
this
pepperoni
episode,
plates.
we get the police end up coming back, and they have the dogs with them this time, and obviously Clyde is getting a little nervous, so he sees this other flight of stairs and goes up it.
Hold up. I gotta say this one part that Clyde. There's one line that Clyde says when he sees the painting from back in the day, and this is why I thought made me think about New Orleans, because he said, "Who that old fop?" It's not fart, but it's like fop, like it.
Well, I mean,
oh my
yeah.
God, I love it. I love Clyde.
Old Clyde.
He ends up being an old fart real soon. So
we all
not as fast as this guy. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, we see that he ends up moving out of the way, and then the dog kind of loses interest, which kind of implies that might have had a loss of scent there. So, I mean, there was definitely something going on there. I mean, the dog was like fucking crazy for a while, and then that happened, and especially with police dogs,
she tells him to go upstairs for a bit to age a little bit, so that changes him. So when he comes back,
but the dog's still going crazy. Then the dog's going crazy all the way until he goes up the second flight of stairs into the attic. So, and then that's when the dog stops and ends up calming down. And when that happens, the police kind of like give up or whatever, end up leaving. And then she goes up there to check out what's going on with him. And he's laying on the floor, kind of breathing heavily. You see he's aged even more. Mm-hmm. Looks like he's basically just falling apart. Now, as this is happening, we see that, she made it up the first flight of stairs. And you don't see her go into the attic room. Instead, we see the door slightly open and a baby just walks in. Not walks, but just crawls in. And that is where our episode ends. Which,
was her? The baby?
Yeah. Was
that her or him?
That's her. The baby was her.
Okay.
Because, every time she goes upstairs, she goes down in age.
Mm-hmm.
So when she went up that second flight, as he got older on that second flight, she got younger.
That gets creepier. That just... it's been a while since I watched the episode.
The worst part about this is, now say this baby wants to go back down the stairs. Does she age fast?
Age a little bit?
To where when she falls down the stairs, because you're not going to actually go down the stairs properly as a baby. Does she age enough where she doesn't break her neck? Or does she die as a baby trying to get down the stairs?
No, man. She's going to have to turn around and do that scoot backwards thing and hope for the best.
But she's a baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's be honest, man. Babies are kind of stupid.
That would make sense, though. That would make sense, If she went down the steps.
Babies can train a thought like that.
Well, I mean, like, even if she, like, rolled down the fucking steps, by the time it got down to the point of the stairs where things change, it would already been growing.
Yeah, but, but you got that really big soft spot. I mean, you're really taking a chance, because all it's going to take is that one wrong step in the beginning. And then the next thing you know, you got fucking cone head, fucking brain damage, fucking baby.
Well, so that's the thing. We got cone heads everywhere, Right there, the reptilians.
Did you see how she looked when she was older, though? She might have went through this cycle before. Maybe she broke something up in the old version.
Do you see how broken that woman was?
It's very possible.
She's been written a few times by this time travel thing.
I feel like this might have happened a couple times over the years, and maybe this is one where she just let her guard down. Most of the time, she's not going to open the door or doesn't get no visitors, and finally she's like, "Oh, someone's came to see me." But it's also weird because she knew the sheriff by name, like. So at least she's had interactions with people in this community.
She's had other people that have come in there that have
she's
escaped.
Definitely been there for a long time. That's for sure.
She's like that woman that like married Richard Ramirez. Like she takes in all the prisoners and she's okay with it.
She's the one.
but
Yeah, she's the old lady that just takes in people. There's probably runaways there. They got to go knock on the door.
I've been horny for so long.
Right. So
wait, I'm gonna go up the steps real quick.
But now, when we talk about R. Lee, is this his easiest role? Because we only hear his voice for most of this movie. Then there's the peephole scene, and then this is definitely shot down in a day. Then he's
his parts are done very, very quickly. I mean, this didn't take a long time. That's for damn sure. I would give them the opportunity for 2 days just because.
Well, Army, he started out as actually a gunnery sergeant, So that's why he's he's always been so good about every role he plays being that guy, It's like fucking Christopher Reeve or Jordan being Superman,
You know what they need to bring back or put on syndication? Mail Call. That was my shit, dude. That's just mindless TV. You put on R. Lee's there yelling at you, and you're learning about Army gear. That was cool, dude.
Who said that? Who fucking said that? Oh, what do we got here? A fucking comedian. Well, hell, I like it. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister. Yes.
Oh my god, that movie's so hard, bro. Like that first.
You little scumbag.
That's a workout. Watching that.
So, anyways, to bring this back a little bit, this was based off of the. God damn it!
Aren't you glad I joined?
No, I told you if you wanted to join in. I mean, we've
been about the same way before you got here. We said a couple words about the show, and then a lot more words about something else.
And that's what's great about live podcasts.
Yeah. So, anyways, this was based off the Vault of Horror issue number 23 comic book, and there are some pretty major fucking differences in this comic book in comparison. So, first off, this story is, just take this whole story that you just watched, throw it out the fucking window because the comic book's a whole different thing. It's not how it happened in the comic book whatsoever. In fact,
curious about this.
These stairs really had nothing to do with a fucking thing. So what ends up happening is we end up meeting these two people, and this man has lost his wife, who, they've been clearly married for a while, and he's pretty wealthy. He has a imported Rolls Royce, which, for a comic book coming out in the 50s, you're not putting a bigger fucking thing to, any kind of stat. You want to show me you're rich, fucking pull up in a Rolls Royce. That's fucking simple. Even to today's standards, that's a fucking car. Yeah. Now, she is also recently single as well, a widow. Her husband has died, and
I sense a love match.
Oh, well, come on, this is 1950s comics. Who do you want to guess is the villain? Who wants to guess right now who's the bad guy?
The guy
in 1950. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the woman every time.
It's the woman. Okay, all right.
It's always the woman in 1950. It sounds horrible, but let's just put it the way it is.
Let's not split hairs here, folks. Man, the deadliest species, okay?
Since you showed me that earlier cover, that totally makes sense. With the women's with the head chopped off. So, it's definitely that error.
So, anyways, though, to get into this a little bit more. We end up shortly figuring out the woman ended up murdering her ex-husband for the insurance money, ends up pushing him off of a lighthouse and lets him die. Now, as this is all going on, though, we see this woman increasingly get mean to this man. He's sick in bed. She's yelling at him that he has to get up and that he's being worthless and all this other stuff. And
been there.
Well,
I just got. What does this have to do with the episode we just watched?
Nothing. That's kind of why I was in the beginning of this episode, cool. Teller wrote this, but I don't think he actually read the comic book because it has nothing to do with the fucking source material.
Saw the cover. It was like, I got
no. Well, first off, the cover of this episode has nothing to do with the story because the cover of it's based off of a different story. But when you go back and look at it, it's just I don't fucking know how they came up with this one, honestly.
I always like this episode though. Like
I'm not saying it's a bad episode, but it just has nothing.
But it's so weird. Yeah.
Material.
I gotta run it back a little bit though. So honestly, she's got on this red dress that's kind of a little similar to the red dress at the top of the stairs that the old woman when she's young kind of has on. And then there's something looks decomposed, or maybe just old.
Well, I think that maybe the dress ages. The dress got cursed with her.
Yeah, maybe that was enough to get him to go down this road of this weird aging curse. I don't know.
If the dress got cursed with her, that's really bad because that means she's also been wearing the same clothes for who knows how fucking long.
The thing is, though, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. A woman wears a certain dress. That's what made me fall in love with my kid's mom. She wore a certain dress. I was there, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sometimes, fucking shut up, Chuck. All right, go on.
So, anyways,
point out one little small fact though. It looks like they also reprinted that issue 23 with a different cover. That totally has nothing to do with the episode.
No. The reprint of that actually has the exact same cover. As far as the picture's concerned, if you go and pay attention and look at it, the main difference there is the original copy, other than being a 10-cent variant compared to a $2 variant, the top and the sides are red compared to blue in the reprint.
Okay.
So, but the actual photo that's used for the cover for that actual comic book is still the same photo.
Yes, I don't know.
And it's mostly because that's a double-sized reprint. So that reprint actually has 2 issues in it. I know way too much about that.
Maybe this is something else.
It's one of the few things that I collect.
Do you actually have this issue?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
God damn. Yeah. How many issues did you have? Like when it comes. Well, okay. From what was based on the Tales from the Crypt show? Like, do you have like all of them? Like, do you have like? Because you have quite a bit. I was just kind of curious.
Almost all of them. Oh yeah. See, that's not the. That's all right.
Notes. I don't know what this shit is, but it says number 23.
Yeah. See that's the numbering on the reprints is different than the numbering on the real ones, to be honest with you. So
so there's bootleg ones out there, like
say that again.
There are bootleg versions of this out there. Yeah, that's
no,
weird.
They're not bootleg. In fact, Bruce Hershenson, he's one of the guys who actually did a lot of the stuff to be able to get the reprints out there. But no,
they just reprinted some of the issues in a different order, I guess. Or
yes and no. There's also 2 companies that did them. So you had like your Gladstone one, like what it basically was is you had like your East Coast and your West Coast reprints.
Okay.
So things were a tad bit different. I'm actually trying to find it right now so I can show you what you are looking at there, because what you're actually going to be looking for when you're looking for this comic book now, I'm going to have to send it to you so you have a small idea what I'm talking about, Monk. So check that out, because that actually not only has the entire fucking comic book there on that.
Okay.
What I'm sending you, but we'll actually have both covers back to back. So when that loads up, you'll see what I'm talking about, especially with the numbering. And you'll see how the actual photo itself is just a high res upgrade, and there's just some color variation with the original, and you'll see that you'll see those are the Gladstone cover for that one. But I mean, there's also a $2 compared to 10-cent difference on that as well. But yeah, you see what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So that's what that's all about. Like the reprint numbers don't go in order with the actual original source material numbers, which is just how it is when you're doing especially double issues and shit like that. But to jump back into the comic book for this one, And if you do check out the comic book for that one, I believe it's the last story in that one. But so near the end of it, the man's really, really upset. So he ends up running back to see his wife, go to her grave, who he's been forbidden to see because he's now remarried to this woman. And as he's there, it's starting to pour, and he ends up falling to the ground and has a heart attack. And as he's having this heart attack, he starts to see this figure appear. Then we get a cut scene over to the house, and obviously he died from that heart attack. And once they go back to the house, you see his new wife there, and two corpses: the corpse of her new ex-lover as well as her original ex-husband. And they end up going up to her, and you don't really get to see or know what happens exactly, but in the next panel we end up realizing that she has died, and she's all bruised up, and there's two corpses there. And that's the end of that story.
Yeah, nothing like the fucking episode at all.
Nothing at all.
No, it's not.
Dude.
It's not the same story. It's a good story. I prefer this one. Like
both of them are good though.
How many seasons did this series have?
7.
Maybe 7. Okay, so this is getting there right before the last season.
Yeah, well, I mean, the 7th season is
blows.
It's bad because they take production over to England. So like the production gets switched over pretty bad. Which, I mean, there's still not all of it's bad. Just
I don't know one of those episodes that I think is good. I've tried watching the 7th season so many times. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I've watched it over and over again. Like, I go through them sometimes, but there's not an episode of the 7th season I like. I try.
I don't think I minded Ear Today, Gone Tomorrow.
Which one was that?
The one with Richard Johnson and Gretchen Palmer. Let's see.
Give me a plot.
Confession was that. That's the one with Eddie Izzard.
Oh yeah, he was one of those.
Yeah,
he's fucking hilarious, but I don't like that episode. I don't like any episode.
Yeah, actually, kind of funny. And I don't know if it's his first role, but it's definitely an earlier role from him than compared to what most people know. But I know that in the episode Smoke Wings, Daniel Craig makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because I believe he's a ex-con in that one, which is kind of
a
different kind of thing there. Trying to think of who else is.
There's a lot of people though that are names now that had starts in some of these episodes. Like maybe not their first thing they've done, but in the earlier part of their career, they were doing things like I'm gonna get a Tales from the Crypt episode. I'm gonna pop up in this bit part of this small film and.
All right. Well, do you know why?
Hey, they had jobs.
No. A lot of the people then, and I found this out when I had Timothy Stack on, and when I talked to him, who's one of my favorite comedy actors and writers. And basically, anybody who worked on any Tales from the Crypt episode was they were getting scale. So even when like Michael J. Fox, Arnold came on, stuff like that, they were getting scale. Now, here's where they had their perks. This show was produced by Gilbert Adler, Alexander Collett, Richard Donner, David Giller, Walter Hill, Michael Hirsch, A.L. Katz, Scott Nemerfro, Robert Peraghi, Ed Rosen, Joe Silver, and Robert Zemeckis. So you worked for Scale to work for these guys, and if they liked you, you were in all of their fucking movies. Which, if you go and check it, I mean, it's a proven thing. Like, if they did like you, you were in their fucking movies. And let's just be 100% honest.
This is on like probably one of the biggest networks at the time as well. So you're getting that people are seeing you, and it's just
right. But I mean, as far as those producers, though, I mean, let's just be honest. Like, who put out more movies than those guys?
Yeah, Joel Silver did most of the big 90s action things that we remember that the films we like.
Richard Donner, though.
Crazy.
Come on,
Yeah,
I mean,
Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, Zemeckis.
You're in there.
Walter Hill and Gilbert Adler. I mean, like you're talking about almost every huge franchise. Like Walter Hill did all the Alien stuff. Gilbert Adler. I mean, he did like House on Haunted Hill. He did a lot of the Superman stuff as well. 13 Ghosts. I mean, tons of fucking shit. He even helped produce one of the movies with one of the coolest fucking intros ever done in a horror movie. Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
That is a sleeper, man.
Yeah,
I don't really care for that movie, but that opening scene's pretty brutal.
Oh, that opening scene is
that's some
awesome.
Damn Final Destination type.
Oh yeah,
right.
I feel like they might have been inspired a little bit when they made that.
Yeah. And then like you said, Robert Zemeckis. I mean, Robert Zemeckis has done so much fucking shit. I mean, that guy, as far as like film goes, I mean, might be one of the most influential fucking producers ever.
Did you know that he wrote Ice Cube and Ice-T's Trespass?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill Paxton. Yeah, man. I love that fucking movie. I got it on VHS.
That is crazy to me.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I know he was. He did the writing for the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I know he did the Christmas Carol. I mean, the dude's done. I mean,
a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah,
that's really cool. You mentioned Trespass. That's a good movie. It's an underrated film. I love. Yeah, dude, that's a good one. My stepdad got me watching that one, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude's done so much shit. It's fucking insane. That's for damn sure.
That was after my stepdad gave me he gave me like his Ice-T albums and shit. he gave me Original Gangsta. And he gave me the Body Count's first two CDs.
Body Count's crazy, man.
And he was like, "Hey, you really like that shit? You know what's Trespass?" Oh, and he also Cypress Hill's Black Sunday. That was always that's always a favorite of mine. But
there's a good documentary out about them on Showtime right now.
Fuck yeah, it is, man. Dude, as soon as it came out, I couldn't wait to watch it. Cypress Hill's my shit. That's my shit. I love them.
Anyways, though, to keep this going, we always go through and give our rating of this episode and what we thought about it and everything. And I mean, clearly, you all know what I thought about this episode. I mean, we discussed it pretty thoroughly. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say the comic book I think had a better storyline. I think the TV show is still good in its own right, and I would still give this one probably a solid 6.5, 7 though. I mean, it's not a bad episode whatsoever. I mean, they could have done better, but I mean, it could have been so much worse, especially for these later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. I mean, I think they did a good job with it. I'm not mad about it. Mm-hmm. I do like it better when they follow the original source material, but unfortunately, I'm not Teller, and I wasn't able to write this screenplay.
Damn, Teller.
That's so crazy that he was the one that wrote this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's so fucking nuts. Because JB told me about that the other day, and I was like, "Really? Okay." And then I realized what episode it was before I jumped on here. I was like, "Oh shit, okay." Like it's one of the good ones on this season. Like
Yeah, it's funny though, because I mean, he does his magic thing, but I think he also came up in that world of sitcom and all that, and it's not uncommon for not sitcom, but stand up, and those kind of comedic performances. But it's not uncommon for those dudes to be writing for stuff like this, man. Having writer credits on.
Look it up. He did that shit, and then you have like the Jordan Peele stuff. You have fucking
if you
Danny McBride did Halloween. Barbarian was written by one of the guys off Whitest Kids You Know.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know until I just watched the fucking movie the other day and I looked that shit up. I was like, God damn, same dude. All right, not what I expected at all. There's a darker side of comedians, and this is how they're getting it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you think about it though. I feel like even horror stuff in general has always had this comedic timing to it. Even if they weren't so super outright funny, there's always been those moments of levity, or in some movies where there is the comedy, man. Like if you look at something like what was that movie? Jason in Manhattan. That's goofy as hell, man. That feels like he wrote that shit, dude. Like,
by the way, Chuck, like, you were talking about Zach Kreger.
Yeah.
And that guy, just so, I mean, the guy's actually done a shit ton of stuff. I mean, all sorts of genres, just so people know that. But if you actually want to see some of the funniest stuff that guy's ever did, and it's technically, I think they were one episode away from finishing it when Trevor Moore died.
Oh shit.
So yeah, there was a little bit of a hiatus there, but it's on their YouTube series, and it's called The Whitest Kids You Know Try to Play a Role-Playing Game, The Buckerson and Meyer Saga.
Okay.
And to say the least, to give a little bit of a spoiler away, Trevor Moore's character at the end of some fights would take goblins and make them look like they were butt fucking each other.
Sounds
and this
about
is
right.
them playing a Dungeons and Dragons game. And like, instead of like going on the missions, they'd be like, well, I want to start a comedy troupe and we're going to go find Coke. So,
well, I mean, like Miss March was a good one too. That was funny.
No, Miss March was not.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Not a good movie, though. Come on.
It wasn't a good movie, but it was fucking funny. But like, but it also like shows that like, you know, a comedian goes for whatever like humor they can, which means they go through all kinds of emotions. Because I mean, like, you know, stand-up comedians, stuff like that, you know, they're self-loathing. They're, you know, they'll go after whatever, which means they can also dive into the emotion of the darkness. Right. And we've seen it time and time again, and just, you know, kind of proves it.
Oh yeah. And by the way,
and Penn and Teller has always been like morbid as fuck anyway. So.
Chuck, you're gonna find this one out probably. I think it's scheduled for this year, but I'm probably gonna say it'd probably come out next year. Zach's newest thing, which I believe is supposed to be an animated comedy, which Trevor Moore did do some of the voice stuff for before he passed away.
Oh,
it's
nice.
called Mars. That's supposed to still have a release date.
Nice.
So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, I watched the whole. I'm a big Whitest Kids You Know fan.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, man!
Like ever since I saw that skit for the Grapist.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna grape you in the mouth. What did he just say? I'm gonna grape you? Like yeah, like I had a roommate that got me into that show, and like
Monk,
some of the funniest shit.
Got a chance to check that show out?
Which one?
Whitest Kids You Know.
Oh nah, I'm familiar with some of the players on it, but I haven't seen it, man. So,
dude, you need to watch that show. That shit's hilarious.
Not a big gap in my pop culture references from not seeing that.
It's one of the funniest shows. I mean, it really is. There's not really an episode. It's like
they had to put it out on IFC because I think nobody could have even gotten close to putting the stuff out that they aired.
Nah,
you know, one of my favorite things is they do like spoof songs, and they did one called "Get a New Daddy."
Get a new daddy.
About like
get
taking pictures
daddy.
of yourself naked and putting them in your dad's sock drawer, and how to pretty much get him in trouble so you can get a new dad because he's a dick. You know, shit like that. Or
what about mouthwash? What about mouthwash there, JB?
That wasn't on that show.
It wasn't?
No, that was on Trevor Moore's CD.
Well, I thought they showed the clip of it though on the show.
Though. No, that was fucking years before that came out.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. It's still the same fuck motherfucker. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, Mars website. It looks pretty cool though. I'm looking at some of the stuff they got up on the Mars site.
For Mars,
bones with dinosaurs.
Yeah, Mars.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look horrible.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I know it's one of them that I'm excited to see, and I'm just a huge. I mean,
yeah.
Trevor Moore was always like a comedian, fucking idol. Like he's just fucking
hilarious.
Much better than anybody ever gave him credit for.
I got a buddy of mine that reminds me of him a lot, and it's like fucking crazy.
He's fucking hilarious as all fucking hell.
And the fact the way that Trevor Moore died was like, it's just so stupid. Because he fell.
Off the balcony.
like he was fucking trashed and fell off the fucking balcony. Like, dude, that's so fucking stupid. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Even in death, it's comedy.
What was that, Mom?
Was it at like a hotel, or was that at his house? Or
his house?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
I
sad.
remember hearing about that though. Definitely that the death. Damn.
That was a bummer of a day, man. That really was. That really was.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Anyways, Monk, what did you think of this episode, and where would you
I
put this
liked
one?
it. I mean, it's not. It didn't blow me out of the way in any way. I do like the concept of the story. It did feel like they didn't give us a lot of meat, on it. It just flew by so fast. I blinked and it was over. But it was entertaining, man. It's probably a middle of the road for me. I'll probably give it out of 10. Yeah, it'll probably be like a 6. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's fair. Mr. Nasty, what about you? Even though you got to miss our whole conversation about Shaq,
Yeah, I wish I could
which
have been here for that
clearly
one.
had a
Actually,
huge part about this episode.
I'll have to go back and rewatch. Yeah, I'm gonna go 6 as well. It's a good one. It especially for that season. I mean, as they got lower on, we already talked about that. It kind of gets shitty, but I always liked it the way it looked inside the house, and like when certain lights and stuff were in it. It reminded me of my childhood going to like those older like people, older family members' houses and shit. Like I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's something that's actually stuck out with me for a long time. Because when I checked it out, I was like, "Do what?"
It felt lived in. It felt lived in, like it was a real place.
Yeah, like there was a familiarity to it.
Yeah.
So I like the way it was shot and everything. I thought it was a good story. I do think that the original story in the comic is a little better.
It is.
But how many times have you done one of these where either the comic or the episode of the comic, they're both halfway decent. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times, like one of them sucks, the other, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I'd say it's probably about 15% of the time it's entirely different. I'd say about 80% of the time it is the exact fucking same. And then I'd say 5% of the time the TV show fucking blows it out. Doesn't happen often, but I mean, it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, this episode isn't. It really isn't that bad. It's a good one, and and then again, the story for the comic's good too. So I mean, like they're both win-wins.
I will say, going back to some of our conversation earlier, the next episode of Tales from the Podcast that we'll be doing is based off of the Crime Suspense Stories issue number 21, and it's called In the Groove, featuring Miguel Ferrer. Talking about RoboCop earlier, so
dude, I love Miguel, man. Like he was awesome.
He's done like 4 or 5 episodes of Tales from the Crypt, and he's always like the same guy.
Which is the episode? What's that one about?
Which one?
The one that you're doing.
In the Groove.
Is that where it's on the DJ?
He's like a DJ.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That one's a bit erotic. Okay, I do like that one too, actually.
Is that the dude that Scarface threw out the plane?
I believe so.
Or they got thrown out of the plane in Scarface, or the helicopter. My bad. It's the helicopter. I think that's the dude.
Was it? Was that Miguel?
No, I could be wrong.
No.
Miguel Ferrer played in so much shit.
Yeah, he was.
He was the boss in Crossing Jordan. I don't know if anybody remembers that show, but
he was Bob Morton in RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
He was Rosenfield in Twin Peaks.
Yep. He's always an asshole.
He is always an asshole. He plays that role. I don't think he was in Scarface though.
That was Omar. My bad.
He did the voice of Martian Manhunter on the Justice League New Frontier.
Yeah. His dad was an actor too, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
Because I want to say his dad might have been in Scarface. Yeah, that's who I'm thinking it is.
Like my weed's kicking in, so it's actually that's the guy that got blasted in his kneecaps from RoboCop. You guys said that, but
yeah,
already. Yeah. All right.
He did do a voice on Hercules, one of the greatest TV shows ever made.
On Hercules, though, what was the voices you would need to be done on the Hercules
Antaeus? Show? Well, on Hercules' Legendary Journey, a lot of the gods actually ended up having voices.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, the guys.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Sam Raimi nailed that show.
Mhm.
That was a good one. Let's see. He also did stuff on Jackie Chan Adventures, Robot Chicken, American Dad, The Batman. He was the voice of Sinestro. I mean, this guy's done tons of stuff. He was the voice
Yeah.
of the Duelist in the remake of Thundercats.
Oh well, I didn't know
I've
that.
seen most of
Yeah.
that.
He was in a movie years ago. It's like a
He's in
USA
the
movie.
music video for "I Will Remember" from Toto. I didn't know that.
I thought you were
guess
going to
it
say
really
Skid
has nothing
Row.
to do with anything whatsoever. But
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say Skid Row at first. I
No,
will remember you.
wow.
He was in the '97. He's the voice of Mark Torrance on the '97 Shining. I mean, the guy's done way more.
Is it really?
Yeah,
No, it's been a while since I've watched that one. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm looking up some of this guy's shit. I mean, this guy's done way more stuff that's. I mean, he has a lot of uncredited stuff too, but I mean, it's like, wow. He's
Yeah.
it's pretty
like
fucking impressive checking out his stuff.
Some people
What's
stay
weird though
working,
is,
man.
huh?
Some people just stay working. Like they get
Oh,
on
yeah.
and they just don't stop, and wherever they can get it, and it's kind of
No.
cool though when you can look back at a career like that.
No, you are completely right. Well, I mean,
He died of lung cancer a few years
he
back.
died, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I mean, oh yeah, you know what though? He was also in Blink Check. I forget about that one.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like fuck that movie. I don't know what you're talking about. Nah, I mean that's one of those movies.
Whatever.
That was a fun movie.
And he died of
I got
throat
kids.
cancer at the age of 61.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also says where he's buried. If anybody wants to go check him out, he's buried in Santa Maria Magdalena de Paz's Cemetery in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
You can remember that, right, folks? Okay, good.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. I want to thank you so much for being able to come on. I went ahead and
Thanks
I've
for
already.
having me, man.
Oh,
Anytime.
dude, it's always fun. I do want to tell people to check you out on got your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, and your Twitter all posted out there. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to share, but I mean, feel free to.
That's it, man. We're just going to be bringing out more episodes. I got more episodes coming of the classics of cinematics as soon as I can edit them. So I think we're finishing up the Stephen King, but we got some big stuff coming with those, some pretty cool episodes. And what's good about it is it's just anything made before the 90s. So there's tons of classic films to get through. I think we just hit our 50th episode, so we're probably in the mid 50s now, but we can go forever with this, man. There's
Oh yeah.
It's hundreds. And I'm gonna definitely reach out and have you on some of those, man. So we got to make that happen as well.
Can I come on too? Can I come on too?
Yeah, we could do a double. Let's bring it.
Yeah, I'm a part of something.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I didn't mean to pull a Jack Hunter there, but you know.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, you definitely did now that you bring it up. I don't think, because I know you had me on before, but I don't think Classics of Cinema was even a thing yet then.
No, I don't think
it wasn't.
We were. Nah, it was because we also have the main show, which I do. Right now it's just me and Cornelius because Bob's scheduling is kind of goofy right now, so it's usually the three of us. So now it's just me and Cornelius for right now. And Bob is one day off. He comes through on Sunday, and we do the classics of cinematics episode. So the main
Corny's
show,
fucking awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah. So the main show we do whatever we've seen that week, new, and then we also talk about a little bit of film news as well. So those are out there. And just check out From the Canopy YouTube channel. That's where everything is. From the Canopy Network YouTube channel. There's a playlist at the top of that has every new episode of all the stuff that we're doing. So I got the 2 film shows. I do have an unboxing channel as well. Those are the ones that are going right now currently and come out regularly. So
right. Yeah, the link I shared was for the network. So if you hit channels like me personally, that's how I go about it. Because like I said, like your main show, half the time I gotta fucking just wait because I haven't seen it yet. Because I mean, like you said, I mean, you guys like you watch like the movie comes out, it's like midnight, and it's like you aired your fucking episode at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Not that fast,
It's like you're still watching the movie and you're putting the fucking episode out. It's like, man, how the fuck is he doing this so quick?
Yeah, sometimes I feel lazy, man, but like we actually, jumped the gun, especially with this Black Panther one, because we knew it would be such a big film and people would want to know. So we recorded that Saturday after we saw the movie instead of usually we record Wednesday. So we just came and did a special bonus. But yeah, we're trying to just keep something out weekly, man, just to keep you guys engaged and keep y'all entertained and
keeping that grind going.
Yeah, and it's helping us just get better at just doing this kind of stuff, talking and just editing and just putting it all together. So hopefully something happens, but if not, we're still going to do it. We have fun with it. So,
I do have to ask from somebody who hasn't been to the theater yet and hasn't seen it. Is the new Black Panther as good as the first one?
I don't know, dude. They're different in the ways, man. And honestly, I think the first one is still probably I don't know.
I haven't seen any of them.
No, man. I'm on the fence.
I like the first one, great. But I mean,
I love the first one, but also
the direction they were taking this one, I wasn't sure on.
But what they bring to the table, I think they handled the situation, which is really Chadwick Boseman's death, in a good way. And we also introducing, we've seen Namor in these trailers, and it's worth it.
I got kids too, so I see Namor on the Happy Meal toys.
One of the best comic book villains in one of these films I've seen in a long time, and it paid off, man.
Really?
This hasn't been my favorite phase. I will say I'm kind of lukewarm overall. I had some high points, mostly probably Shang-Chi and
I like that one more than I should have.
Yeah, I like Strange, but what's the name was kind of a mixed bag for me.
Who doesn't love Strange?
Thor, Love and Thunder. That one was a little,
I think they really hit the mark with the Multiverse of Madness and having Raimi do it. I think, I don't know. Personally, I think he's one of the greatest filmmakers alive. And when you see him and doing a superhero movie, it's always, usually if he has full reign, which he doesn't usually get with superhero movies, hence Spider-Man 3. But when he has the reins, it's like, wow, this guy can really make a fucking killer movie.
Yeah, I think overall though, I'm gonna probably put part one slightly above this one, but this one does, even though it is a Black Panther story, but it feels broader. Like it feels more linked to the broader world that they've been building, all this time, and it feels more like a bigger event. It's not quite Avengers, but it's this phase's version of one of those films. It's just all hands on deck. We're throwing all the money at this shit. We're letting the director do his thing. We're getting like really great just performances outside of the effects and all that stuff, man. And the story is pretty solid, So I really ain't got no complaints, man. Definitely, I think it's worth the time.
That's definitely more than I was giving it credit for. I was nervous going into thinking about that one. It's like, because I'm actually, I'm probably gonna watch Black Adam first, just to be honest. But
I see the critics are shitting on that, but I actually liked Black Adam. Like I understand what it is. It's not as crazy as some of this other stuff, but it has enough good stuff on it that I came out with a buzz. I was like, yeah. And
talking about From the Canopy though. Cordy's here. Hey, Cordy, how you doing, man? He says, "What's up, guys? How many times has Monk seen Wakanda Forever?"
30 times, man.
Like 30 times.
I got the Regal Unlimited, man. I'm not doing a whole lot these days.
Well, it seems like I asked the right person though. Like, how good is this movie? It's like if you've seen it 30 times, I'm going to trust your opinion on what you thought of it.
We have our review up, man. We did a spoiler-free version, and then we did a spoiler discussion. So that's up on our From the Canopy Network. But yeah, man, check it out. Black Adam was fine, man. It's The Rock. What did you want this guy to do? Win an Oscar for Black Adam? Like, come on, man.
Well,
it brings it with the explosions. It's got the action. You get backstory. Dr. Fate is awesome. Let's go. And like, just enjoy something. Like,
I imagine that one.
I wanted a better Ghost Rider movie. I wanted the new Spawn movie.
They're still working on a Spawn movie.
There's a bunch that I want to see.
Did you watch the DCU Swamp Thing?
I watched some of it, but I think I bailed. It was.
I liked it.
It's taking too long for me.
It was that was the one issue I had with the show they put out was the fact that it was kind of a slow burn for a show. I like it. I thought it was going all right, but it does have some slow parts. It doesn't start picking up until the third episode.
I don't know. I'm like what 4 seasons into fucking Titans right now. So I mean, talk about like
I can't do it. I tried one time, man. I got like 2 or 3 in.
I'm a strong believer that Titans is the best thing DC has going for it.
Can I have to go out there and put this out there that like I don't care for any. I lost my interest in the Marvel universe, the DC, mainly the Marvel universe. I lost all fucking comic book movies. I'm pretty much burnt out on. Have I seen most of them? No, I haven't. Why? Because I don't give a fuck. Like I've been hearing about this shit for fucking ever from like all my you gotta see this, you gotta see this. Oh man, it's so good, it's so good. And I sit down trying to watch one, and I'm like,
every Axel Braun parody.
What?
If you know, you know.
I don't know. I just know that
Axel Braun is the guy who does all the porn parodies to all the superhero movies.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of those. Wow. Yeah, I've definitely seen a few of those.
Marty says, "I hope you're not waiting on Spawn." Todd's been talking about that shit for 20 years.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be the last couple of years. You said it's supposed to be more of a horror related movie. And I'm just like, yeah, it'd be great if you make the fucking thing.
Yeah, no, you know he's not interested, right? But I will put money on it. He's going to be really fast to watch the new Crow movie.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, no, I'll go with that. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one, JB.
And we can't say nothing about that one because that movie's actually already in post production. It's already filmed and has the financing to keep it going.
The Crow.
The Crow.
Oh yeah, who's the Crow in that one? Is that Skarsgård?
Yeah, and I think he's gonna be good.
He's better than their last choice. They were thinking about Momoa. It's like he doesn't even fucking look like him.
He's big, man. The Crow's. I like the Crow to be just a smaller, slight build. Like
he looks like that.
Like you need a sandwich.
Yeah,
like you gotta come with that, and he's gonna fuck you up. Like.
No, Momoa, no.
The Crow was one of those films that had no right to be as good as it was, man.
The pictures of Momoa as Eric Draven were like if fucking Aquaman went goth, and it's like no, I can't. That just looks stupid. Like nope, that looks dumb as fuck. Can we not do this?
Running over rooftops, man. That's not going to work for me.
No. It's about as bad as fucking God. The Crow movies. Jesus Christ.
Crow.
I don't know. I think this new Crow is going to be. I think this new one's going to be fucking perfect.
Look, if they feel the need to do it, I think it's going to be all right. I don't think they should be doing it, but whatever. I think that they have the funds and the
they're doing the original one. So it's fucking. They're bringing Eric Draven back.
Right.
Who's going to be 10-10?
Huh?
Who's going to be 10-10? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Let's see.
Happy little pirate nickname.
Let's see if it's even announced because I don't even know if it's announced yet.
Damn. Yeah, because that's what
I've got a gun in my pocket.
Those smaller characters, the bad guys, they just felt like they were just so
I wonder if they're going to actually put all of the bad guys in it this time. They skipped a lot of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. We got Bill Skarsgård is doing Eric Draven. We know we got Twigs in it, who I believe is the love interest.
FKA Twigs. Damn.
There's a few other. There's 2 other people. Well, there's 3 people here that are also announced, but they don't have characters. So, Malcolm is going to be Paul Menard. Then Danny Huston is in it, but we don't know what role. And Baha Shabani is in it.
Hey, real quick, my phone is about to die. It's been good. It's been fun. Right, well, nice meeting you.
All right, man. I'm gonna hit you up, though, man. We're gonna request you to come on Classics one day.
Hell yeah, I'm down. I'm totally fucking down. JB, hit me up here in a little bit.
I'll give you a call.
All right, later, guys.
Later. I don't know who's going to be doing 1010 though, man. I mean, there's nothing in there.
But it's such a cool characters, man. Like, and now, like, I feel like I'm kind of putting a extra burden on this movie because I like the first one so much. You know?
I can't tell you how big of a fan I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like, I don't know if you can even see it there, but like,
yeah, I see the books.
Like, I'm a big enough fan where this is original artwork. That's not a print.
That original?
Yeah.
What?
It's called Date Night from James O'Barr.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. Damn.
Wow. I'm a little bit of a fan. And keep in mind, everything up here is signed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's a good piece right there. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably start dragging out some of my collectibles too, man, and putting them into these videos because I'm running out of stuff to unbox, man. So if you do want to check out, I do these collectibles like this stuff you see back here and sneakers. So that's what I do on the unboxing channel. But I got a lot of collectibles, man. I probably might start just undoing, some of that stuff and showing the people.
I will say you one of your sneaker video things we talked about the last time you were on was with the mini fanny packs.
Like, oh yeah.
There was still one of them where it was like, oh man, like I still don't know what to think.
Still got those, Joe. Yeah.
Hey, whatever though, man. But anyways, let me go ahead and wrap this up, dude. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. Please check out Monk, my buddy Corny as well over at the From the Canopy Network. I mean, some awesome fucking dudes, really cool shit, and they got a little bit of everything for everybody. So, thank you, man. It's always a fucking pleasure having you on. And
my pleasure, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
But also, and stay tuned for more Tales from the Podcast.
Hey,
JB's got a ton of episodes. If you're digging this, man, which I do, then go ahead and
unfortunately, man, I'm almost at the end.
What are you going to do after that, though? You can't stop.
I'll tell you after the show. Nobody knows yet, but I got a plan. I'll tell you here in a minute. So, anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, check out my fucking comic book. I mean, I've been told by quite a few people that it is the best thing to masturbate into. So if you have nothing to masturbate into right now, check out this over at talesfromthepodcast.com and get yourself something to masturbate into. You don't want to make a mess everywhere. Only make a mess on this book. So with that being said, the crypt is closed.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.